والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم. Today, inshallah, we'll continue what we have started with for now about 5 or 6 episodes regarding the da'wah strategies of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam when he was in Mecca, and how he developed a different approach of da'wah by sending people outside Mecca. Some are locally in the Arab Peninsula and some were internationally across the borders to Abyssinia. And both strategies stunned the Qurayshis, and they were really taken by surprise. How Prophet Muhammad ﷺ could find ways out of this siege that they have imposed on his da'wah in Mecca. He tried himself to go to Taif, but the mission didn't work at that time. And he kept on looking for different strategies through which Islam would spread. Last time we talked about how he went into Medina after a long process of communication with people of Medina with 2 pledges, Bay'atul Aqaba al-Ula, the pledge of Aqaba, first pledge, and the second pledge, and how he sent some of his companions to work as teachers, as teachers for the new way of life that is approaching to Medina. And how when the Prophet ﷺ migrated to Medina, the environment was ready for accepting his arrival. This is why he started with a new method that has never been taken in history, by writing down a constitution bringing all people of Medina together, regardless of their linguistic, geographical, tribal, even religious affiliations, okay, including the Jews who were there. And I mentioned that a new type of people who are not Muslims, who are not, open disbelievers, kuffar, emerged. And those people are called the hypocrites. And how, we look now how the Prophet ﷺ is going to deal with these communities. First, last time we talked about how he dealt with the Jews when he invited them to come, because they were expecting the advent of a prophet. But when Prophet Muhammad ﷺ came into existence, they rejected him. And how Abdullah ibn Salam disclosed the reality, and that would help the Prophet ﷺ deal with them, especially among the people of Medina, because some think that the Jews were the people of knowledge, and they were threatening them that a prophet would emerge among them. Now, one of the greatest scholars of the Jews, the great Rabbi Hussein ibn Salam, his name, the Prophet ﷺ gave him a name, Abdullah ibn Salam. He himself knew how to deal with the Jews, and that was a step to neutralize them, that the people would not be aspiring to them for knowledge, and they are the people of knowledge, they are the people of the book. Now they have been exposed, that they are rejecting on the basis of rejection. They weighed enmity because Muhammad ﷺ was not a Jew. You see? And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala revealed in the Quran that they know him as they know their own children. So today we'll shift a little bit and look at how the Prophet ﷺ dealt with those who are ignorant about da'wah. But they came to know, they came to learn, they came to understand. And this was reported when a Bedouin came to Medina. They heard about Prophet Muhammad ﷺ. Some of them go for, they call them freedom lovers. They go, just want to find out. And this is what the nature of the Bedouins. They are freedom lovers. They don't like to stay in one place for a long time. They don't want to stick to anything for a long time. If they don't like one place, they move to another place. And this is, you see, many Bedouin tribes scattered all over, and that time all over Arabia, which is considered to be the whole world to them. Taking communication and transportation in consideration. So a Bedouin came to the masjid of Prophet Muhammad. The Bedouin have never heard of a masjid, of a sacred mosque, a place that you cannot do anything that you do otherwise. You know, we even cannot do business in the masjid. We cannot talk about side issues in the masjid. You see, this is a place devoted for the service of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So this Bedouin came to the masjid, and he went to a side of the masjid. The masjid, you know, was very humble. You know, that the Prophet built. You know, the trunks of the trees, of palm trees, were just put like pillars, and they covered it with palm leaves. So when it rains, it only protects against the heat of the sun to some extent, but it couldn't hold water. Okay, so when it rains, some of the Sahaba even said the Prophet ﷺ prayed one time, and when he turned to us, mud was in his face because he walked in the sujood on mud. Okay, this is the masjid of Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, but that is the masjid that changed the whole world. Will continue changing the whole world. Yes, the Prophet ﷺ started with humble beginnings, but with very great intentions, with very huge and supreme aims. And this is why great achievements start with humble beginnings. So this Bedouin came to the Masjid Prophet Muhammad ﷺ. He was looking for Muhammad. Even they didn't know what the word prophet is, what the word messenger is, Nabi, Rasul. Okay? But they heard that somebody by the name Muhammad is bringing a new way of life. He is calling people to worship Allah, not to worship idols. Come on, what's going on? He has asked people not to commit adultery, not to drink alcohol, to be good to their parents, to their neighbors. I mean, but his people say that he's a poet. Sometimes say that he's a sorcerer. Some say he's a liar. Let's find out by ourselves. And this is some of those people came. And this person, Bedouin, started urinating at the side of the masjid. You see this, the mentality of the people that the Prophet ﷺ dealt with. And the type we deal with. Sometimes you go to different people, respectable people like Dr. Isa, or Ja'far, or you, or anybody else. They're not Muslims, but they treat you with a nice way. They would never do that in the masjid. They would come with respect to the masjid. You see? Even they would see what I'm supposed to do when I come to the masjid. I'll take my shoes. Although they have never taken their shoes off when they come to their houses, whatever. You see? Now look at the type of people that the Prophet ﷺ had to deal with. So this man came to that, and the companions saw him. What do you expect him to do? They started yelling at him. Ah! The Prophet said, don't do that. لا تأرزوه. Don't disturb him. Let him finish. You know the mentality. You see? This is why Allah says to Muhammad about Rasulullah sallallahu وَمَا أَرْسَلْنَاكَ إِلَّا رَحْمَةً لِلْعَالَمِينَ. Mercy to the world. We realize what it really means. We've got to look at the manners of Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, how he dealt with in such kind of context. If somebody would come to your house, one of your kids would start urinating at the side of your house, what are you going to do? You can't, you're going to war, huh? You cannot imagine. This man is coming to the masjid in the presence of the greatest man on earth, in the presence of the greatest people on earth, the companions of the Prophet. The companions could not stand it. But the Prophet ﷺ, with his beautiful smile, said, calm down, لا تعرزوه. Don't disturb him. Not even shout at him, don't even disturb him. Not to shout, but even not to disturb. Enjoy, take his time, okay. Allahumma salli ala sallam. And the man was shocked. He didn't know why they would do this anywhere. So why not doing it here? Anyway, the man came to the Prophet and said, come. After he finished urinating, he came to the Prophet. He said to the companions, just take a bucket of water, pour it in it, and that's it. No big deal. See, he's teaching people how to give dawa. He's teaching you and me. You see, we may never be on this situation ever, that somebody come to to seek da'wah, and he would urinate in the masjid in front of you. You see? So the Prophet welcomed him, sit down. And the man said, he was really astonished. Why those people would shout at me? And this greatest man, this Prophet, is not shouting at me. Anyway, he accepted Islam. After accepting Islam, he said to him, don't do this in the masjid. People don't do that in the masjid. They do it. That's all. He just directed him. The man left said, اللهم اغفر لي ارحمني وارحم محمدا ولا ترحم معنا أحدا. He said, oh Allah, forgive me and forgive Muhammad and nobody else. Then the Prophet ﷺ held him by hand and said, يا رجل لقد حجرت واسعا. You made something which is very wide, very limited. إن رحمتي وسعت كل شيء. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, my mercy has accommodated everything. Okay? So this is another example of how Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam follows the method. This is his method of da'wah, a method of rahmah, a method of mercy, a method of understanding, a method of setting a role model for everybody else who would come after him to follow his path, to follow his path. There is a reason behind this, something that we could sit around and say, why would Prophet Muhammad ﷺ do such a thing? Why? Why do you think Prophet Muhammad ﷺ did that? Yes?
For many reasons.
What are some of the reasons?
To teach us.
One is a lesson for us, how to deal with people when they're ignorant, they don't know what they're doing. Okay? They may do something which is wrong from our understanding, but they don't know that they're doing something wrong. So we shouldn't yell at them, we shouldn't shout at them, we take them easy and teach them that this is wrong, please don't do it. Again, and if there is something wrong, we could correct it. We find ways to correct it. Another thing, if this man was looking at the people who was urinating, what's going to happen?
Right.
He was going to make it on himself.
Yes.
So who's going to make a big mess?
Yeah.
Big mess. Imagine it, you see. So the Prophet said, no, see, you're not really correcting, you're doing something even worse. Okay? The worst will happen. Okay? Another thing that he's showing people that we've got to be very patient and kind for people who are ignorant, and not to be arrogant and think we are better than you. You don't know how even to conduct yourself in the masjid. No, it doesn't work that way. The Prophet ﷺ was an example for them. And if he would do that to him, many people would run away. وَلَوْ كُنْتَ فَضًّا غَلِيظَ الْقَلْبِ لَانْفَضُّوا مِنْ حَوْلِكَ. If you were tough, with very stiff heart, people would run away from you. And this is why the Prophet ﷺ was attracting people. Many people would come to Prophet ﷺ with a lot of propaganda in their minds about who this man is and what he's calling for. And with his action, he would clarify all this. Because people usually who have power, this power would turn them to become sometimes arrogant, most of the time. It's really rare to find people with power who are humble, down to the ground. And this is how Prophet Muhammad ﷺ was very close to people, was very caring, was respecting, was accommodating. As one of his own strategy, it is called dawa with rahmah. Calling with mercy. Calling with mercy. All life Prophet Muhammad ﷺ was full of mercy, and this is one of the examples that the Prophet ﷺ is giving da'wah with mercy. غفر الله لي ولكم وللمسلمين أجمعين وتقبل منا ومنكم. We'll stop for a while and go inshallah to the next episode. We will talk about another strategy of da'wah that the Prophet ﷺ followed. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.